Hello One and Hello Wall. And today, so as you know, I made that video about me reading my Transformers book. Technically, I didn't read the whole thing, I read like 1/3 of it. Well, I was originally going to read all the books, like live, verbatim type style that I did with the first one. Then I realized every book would be like at least 3 videos long. And I have 5, working on the 6th, almost done with the 6th. So that'd be like 20 books. Sorry, not 20 books. 20 videos about me reading books. That's too many. So I am instead just going to summarize the videos and I'm just going to summarize the books in 3 videos. What? 3? I'm going to summarize So I'm going to summarize the 6 books. Once the last one's done, it will be 6 books. I summarize the 6 books in 3 videos. 2 books per video. I got my fingers right this time. Starting with the first and second book, obviously. So the first book starts with some exposition talking about how a shard of Cybertron, if you gotta know some Transformers lore, by the way. Cybertron's way, Transformers are fun. There's your lore. So basically, a shard from Cybertron broke off the planet, got to Earth, broke up in Earth's atmosphere into 6 pieces, 1 on each continent except for Antarctica because Antarctica is boring, and the Autobots and Decepticons each sent a team of like 8 dudes. And yes, I do mean dudes. There's no female Transformers in this one. Even though technically biologically there are no male or female Transformers equality. They're all agender or whatever. I don't know. Is that a term? I don't know. But team of 8 trying to go get the shards. The first shard is in North America. That's where all the dudes are at. All the Transformers. The book begins with Decepticons attacking a U.S. Army base in Puerto Rico, trying to get some files. They succeed in getting the files. They meet this dude named General Ford, then they kill him. He's important later. And head back to the mainland. We get introduced to our main human character. His name is Jordan. No real thought behind the name. It's just a basic name, Jordan. He's 16, goes to high school. You know, average teenager. And then he has a run in one of the Decepticons. Chases him, tries to kill him, interrogates him, finds out that his dad knows about the shards because Jordan's dad works for the military, he works for the Navy, and he knows about the shards. So, the Decepticon is done interrogating him, tries to kill him, and Autobot shows up, my Bumblebee replacement type character, shows up, they fight. Autobot wins. Should I even say the names? I don't know. The Decepticon's name is Recycle. He's a recycling truck. These are all original characters, by the way. Alright, the only non-original characters are like Megatron and Optimus, and they make like cameos. So, the Autobot's named Slapshot. I didn't name all these, by the way. My brother named some. I named some. It's a whole smorgasbord of things. Autobot, Slapshot takes Jordan back to the Autobot base so that he can dump a whole heaping hunk of exposition on him about what the hell is going on. We get more Autobots. We got Blue Lightning, he's the leader. We got Snapshot, Slapshot's brother. Time Lapse, he can time travel. He has like a tiny minicon with her named Kid. There's Valentino, one of my favorites, and there's Arrowhead and Chopper. They can fly. That's their whole shtick, is that they can fly. They're a helicopter and a jet, respectively. And they just say, hey, here's what the hell is going on, just that you know. Then we cut to the Decepticons. There's 8 of them, like I said. Psykill, who I already mentioned. The leader, Sidetrax. His second in command, Death Hand. And his dog, K9. Spelled the letter K and the number 9. Not my idea. There was, Sanddrifter, War Machine, he's big, he's a battleship. Actually, no, he's bigger, he's an aircraft carrier, so he's like he has a small army on him. And then there is G-Force and Rotor. You can probably guess what the hell they transform into just from the names. But Sidetrax is giving Recycle some shit for messing up, not killing Jordan, but Psycho's like, hey, I know where the dude who knows where the shards are, out in the middle of the ocean. So Sidetrax is like, cool, I'll just get War Machine to go deal with that. And then he also sends Sanddrifter, G-Force, and Voter to go spy on the Autobots who are heading to Washington, D.C., which is where the first shard is. So Decepticons are splitting up, you know. We cut to the middle of the ocean with Frederick, and his ship gets attacked by War Machine and Death Hand and K9. They capture Frederick, kill everyone else on the ship, blow up the ship, sink it, you know, all that stuff. Bring him back, and then Psykill, who he's an interrogator just in general, he interrogates Frederick and finds out where the rest of the shards are, which I'll get to that later, since later in the books is when that happens. And then there's a battle in West Virginia, Point Pleasant, West Virginia, which is a random little town, and it's known for one thing only, Mothman. I don't know if you remember Mothman. I covered him very briefly several months ago. It's like a whole year ago. A whole year and a few months ago, I think. Holy shit. Oh wow, time flies. Yeah, there's a battle. No one dies. Nothing important really happens, but the Decepticons find out that DC is where the first shard fragment is, so they relay that back to the other Decepticons, and all the Decepticons, except for Psykill and War Machine, head to DC to fight the Autobots. It should also, yeah, so they head to DC. They fight. No one dies in this entire book, by the way. Really, no character deaths. They fight the shard is on the Washington Monument, like at the top, so they're scrambling to get to that, and eventually the Autobots get the shard, and they bounce. I should mention real quick where the Autobots and Decepticons' bases are. The Autobots are based in Richmond, Virginia, and the Decepticons are based in, I think it was Cincinnati, Ohio. Because I was like, yeah, those two places are kind of close to DC. Ohio, just gotta get through, like, West Virginia, which is why the Decepticons meet in West Virginia. Richmond, honestly, the Autobots, I know he's gonna go to West Virginia. I just kind of had them do that because I couldn't remember where Washington, D.C. was at the time of making this. I thought it was, like, more in the Pennsylvania sort of area. So, yeah. And then everyone goes back. Jordan's been with the group the entire time, by the way. He's been with the Autobots the entire time, but they drop him off at his house because they're like, this is dangerous. Stay away. So, they do that. The Autobots head for the next shard fragment, which is in Rio de Janeiro. The other shards are in Tokyo, Sydney, Australia, London, and where was the other one? Egypt. Fight Egypt. So yeah, that was all shard fragments, and that's where the first book ends. Oh yeah, also Frederick dies. Moving on to the second book, it starts with reinforcements showing up. 6 reinforcements. There's Weed Whacker, Shogun, and Caretaker for the Autobots, and there's Heavy Loader, Cement Lament, and Ulysses, who, you're gonna love Ulysses, the Decepticons. But they haven't met up yet, because they all landed in, like, Texas. Tejas. The Decepticons split up into 2 groups. Some are going to Rio, some are going to London. Psykill, K9, Sanddrifter, and G-Force to London. The rest are heading to Rio. And on the way, Psykill attacks and kills Jordan and the rest of his family. So Jordan's dead. Hope you didn't like him. All the humans are dead. So moving on. They board War Machine and head to London. That's really all we get for them for like the entire first half of the book. The characters, all the Transformers, minus the reinforcements, meet up in a highway battle on the, like, in Mexico on the way to Rio. Autobots win, the Decepticons just escape. We get introduced to Ulysses properly, as he's actually no, I'll talk about more Ulysses more later. Heavy Loader dies in the battle. Blue Lightning kills Heavy Loader. First, Transformer death, and then there's Cement Lament. He joins in at this point. Big battle in Rio. The shard is on top of the Jesus statue, like on the head. Big battle. The Decepticons get the shard. They bounce. We get formally introduced to Caretaker, Shogun, and Weed Whacker as they actually enter the battle here. They first meet the rest of the Autobots in this battle, actually, so it's like a big, like, oh, hey, who the hell are you guys? Well, reinforcements. Oh, cool. So everyone heads back to their respective bases. Then we get properly introduced to Ulysses. We find out he's not an Autobot or Decepticon. He just kind of chooses whichever side he thinks is winning. And he thinks the Decepticons are winning, so he's going with them for now. Then we're introduced to the biggest bad of them all, Crossbones. He is the main villain for the third book and fourth book, and also the sixth book. Don't ask what happens in the fifth book. I'll get to that when I get to that. But yeah, he's the main villain for half the books. Also, Sidetracks ain't in the second half of this book, so Sidetracks is only like the real villain for like 1.5 books. So then the Autobots hijack a ferry. These are very morally ambiguous Autobots. They hijack a ferry, kill all the crew members, and take it to London. Time-lapse, I should mention, Time-lapse can teleport, time travel, and see into the future. To a limited extent. He can only teleport like 100 miles. He can only see like a few hours or like a day into the future. If he wants to see any farther, he has to actually... He has like a stat that allows him time travel. He has to like use that if he wants to go any further than like a day in the future. So... They all meet up in London. We get introduced to another new character. Postal Apocalypse. This guy's fine. He's a mailman. He's a mail truck. And his whole shtick is that he is homicidal. He only has blades. He has bladed, like, gauntlet forearms. He can shoot out knives, and he has swords. And his whole shit is that he just loves killing stuff. You can get him to do anything as long as killing is involved. That's his whole shtick. Beta names I had for him were Death Note, Death Letter, and Paper Cut, and Gone Postal. Those were my, like, beta names for the dude before I landed on Postal Apocalypse with help from my brother DJ. DJ came up with the name Postal Apocalypse, my mom came up with Gone Postal, I came up with the other three. Postal Apocalypse was my favorite, so I went with that. That was a pain to type that. Anyway, big battle, Postal Apocalypse kicks ass, nearly kills Valentino, like, slices his arm off and, like, stabs him. No one dies here. I'm very hesitant about killing the characters in the early books. Hesitant in the early books. Late books, it gets bloodbath. Like Michael Bay films in the later ones. And, what happens after that? Right. All the flying dudes fight in Big Ben. Because that's where Shard is. It's in the London, Tower of London, I think it's called. And at one point, the Shard fragment in it gets lodged in Kid's chest. And then he just merges with all the gears and cogs and Big Ben itself, the bell, and just uses the bell to fight people, use it as like a wrecking ball, nearly kills a Psycho before he eventually just gets shot out of the tower and breaks apart, and then they escape. The Autobots escape, and they head to Egypt. The Decepticons follow suit, but they take a different path so that they're not just constantly trying to kill each other. And that's where the second book ends, essentially. So, Crossbones is the new leader of the Decepticons. War Machine's on his way to Tokyo right now, by the way. Elnos is on the way to Egypt. And I do mean everyone. That includes the Decepticons that are still in America. With Crossbones, Sidetracks, and such. They're heading to Egypt. And yeah, just everyone's heading to Egypt except for War Machine. He's heading to Tokyo right now. Big battle in Egypt. That happens in the next book. So, I'll get to that eventually. So, if you've enjoyed this video, I've been talking fast, haven't I? Trying to summarize it, you know? If you enjoyed this video, you can leave a like or subscribe if you feel like it, or you can leave a comment down below if you have anything to say about it. You can also follow me on Instagram at VillaX5, I got TikTok, VillaX, who cares about that one? And until next time, I'll see you later, buddy. Bye-bye.